Most American-made car this year is the Jeep Wrangler. That's based on how many parts were made here and how much of the assembly actually happened here. So there you go.
That's why there's so many recalls.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. I just got another one for my Wrangler.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it's this year. This year's
this year, okay.
There you go.
That makes me feel better about my recall, which is that if the airbag does inflate, shards of metal could shoot out and kill you.
Well, that's not their fault. That's Takata, and they're going under.
At least you look cool driving these, right?
True.
And do you give
the doors off,
right? Do you have a hand signal?
There's
wave.
the Jeep Wave. It's it's a little Jeep Wrangler Wave, and only the Wrangler drivers can
really?
do that.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
if you drive a Grand Cherokee Go, pound sand.
Yeah. I have a nice big old fat Honda Pilot, and I like to give it to those people. They always look at me odd. I'm like, what?
Yeah, the funniest thing is when I'm driving the wife's car, the Kia Soul, and I forget that I'm in the Kia Soul, and I do the Jeep Wave, and they look at me like, you're a douche. Don't wave at me.
That's exactly it. You gotta mess with them a little bit.
You're a douche no matter what car you're in.
I can always depend on you, Shorts.
Paul and Al, mornings on 94 HJY.
Hey, thanks for listening to the best of Paul and Al here at 94 HAY. It's brought to you by our friends at Dunkin' Donuts. Next week, we got a short week. We have off Monday and Tuesday, so hopefully you'll join us Wednesday morning. What are we going to do Wednesday? I don't have the slightest idea, because I'm going to enjoy my 4-day weekend, and I hope you do too. But we'll see you Wednesday right here at 94 HAY.
Chahoma Rock and Roll 94 HJY, the latest Transformer movie.
The Last Night, I believe it's called. I think it's the 5th one in the series. You had 3 with Shia LaBeouf, and now this is the 2nd one with Mark Wahlberg. And Michael Bay, the director, did like all 5. I guess he's done with this one, but they didn't have a lot of competition, and they still didn't do very well at the box office.
Well, I'm just wondering, because the weather was so perfect on the East Coast where all the population is, maybe that had something to do with it, but over the weekend, you think a movie makes $69 million. That's pretty good, right?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
It costs $217 million to make.
You know what they think? They think China is where they're going to make all their money back. China is nuts over the damn Transformers.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you export.
But, Mark Wahlberg's been in some good movies. I don't see why he's got to be doing this crap.
Well, could be the money.
It started as a legend,
but now has fizzled.
what was destined to arrive.
Box office failure.
The operation is over. We're not giving up on Prime, okay?
I'll be fine. I'd be more concerned with your career, Wahlberg. Paul and Al. God, you're pathetic. 94 HJY. The news.
You are fake news.
The Jen missed.
We like to call her Miss Information.
Get it?
It's information.
YouTube bassist Adam Clayton thanked his bandmates for helping him quit drinking years ago. Clayton says he no longer has to drink in order to feel better about himself, since he knows that people think he's way less annoying than Bono at any given moment of the day. The president of Brazil has been charged with corruption. Authorities first suspected he was guilty of corruption when they realized he was the president of Brazil. Yeah, he scored some serious Olympic gold. Oh, he just took some money seriously. And according to researchers, people are more likely to eat food if it has an indulgent name, like sizzling beans, as opposed to just plain old beans. It's kind of like how instead of calling it horse rectum, it's called the McRib.
No.
Don't take that away from me.
Paul and Al.
So graphic, so repulsive, it is in no way suited for TV news.
On 94 HJY.
Jay Leno, it seems like he's been doing like all kinds of interviews over the last few days. He kind of makes a true observation. I guess the ratings of Colbert are starting to, trend downward now. And Tonight Show coming back up. He mentioned Trump fatigue.
Oh, it's
which
fair.
I guess,
I was talking about this morning with him before I heard Leno. I liked Colbert for a while, and Seth Meyers I liked too.
Right.
But it's all Trump bashing. I mean, there's only so much you can take.
After a while, I guess, huh?
Yeah, it just becomes...
Yeah, like beating the dead horse, as it were, right? Jay Leno also, in these interviews, talked about, the Tonight Show and all those rumors about him stealing it, things like that, and we figured we would sick Kevin on him.
I think for HJY's Kevin, Jay Leno recently said it wasn't fair that he was depicted as the villain, for kind of stealing the Tonight Show from David Letterman and Conan O'Brien. We've given him some truth serum, and are going to ask him some questions. Jay, what was your motivation for stabbing your great friend like David Letterman and Conan O'Brien in the back to get the Tonight Show?
It's the influx of money. Money just makes you more of whoever you are. If you're a jerk and you're rich, you're a real jerk.
With crap like the Dancing Itos, a lot of people say that your Tonight Show was really corny and that it sucked. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
Mr. Leno, you hosted the Tonight Show for, 20 years. How much of that do you think was actually funny?
Maybe 8 minutes.
That's a little generous. Remember, you're under truth serum. How much of it was actually funny?
The first minute to minute and a half.
And final question, Mr. Leno, what do you think about the theory that Paul and Al are funnier than you?
I find that very disturbing.
Hello, this is Jay Leno, and you're listening to the annoying Paul and Al. 94 HJY.
The DJ yesterday, and here's some highlights.
Here's a few jokes we may have heard before, but they're good ones. Robert writes, I bought some shoes from a drug dealer. They must be hallucinogenic because I've been tripping all day.
Hey.
My wife told me not to act like a flamingo. I was annoyed and had to put my foot down.
God.
If I ever go missing, you should put my picture on beer rather than milk bottles. This way my friends will find me faster. They say you can't get a decent job without education. But look at Albert Einstein. He was a dropout and still ended up being the first man on the moon. All right, here's a classic from Alan. Man is sitting at home alone when he hears a knock at the front door. He opens it and finds 2 police officers standing there. He asks him if there's a problem. One of the officers says, are you married? The guy says, yeah, I am. And the officer says, can I see a picture of your wife? The guy says, well, sure, I guess. And he gets a photo and he shows them. And the officer looks at the photo, turns and whispers to his partner and then turns back to the man. And he's like, I'm really sorry, sir, but it looks like your wife's been hit by a truck. The guy says, I know, but she gives us oral and she can really cook.
HJY, hi.
Hi, I have a joke for you.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. What's worse than locking your keys in your car at an abortion clinic?
Oh, having to walk in and ask for a coat hanger.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
All right, so you're hungover the next morning when you go to take your morning hangover crap and you reach for your seatbelt.
Our winner this week is Rick.
I read about a couple in Vermont that's selling their house, and part of it extends over the border into Canada. It's really cool. It has 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and free health care. So not a bad deal. The founder of Uber has stepped down as CEO after shareholders demanded he resign. I don't know what he's going to do now, because when most people lose their jobs, their backup plan is to go work for Uber.
Paul and Al, mornings on 94 HJY.
Hey, thanks. Next week, we got a short week. We have off Monday and Tuesday, so hopefully you'll join us Wednesday morning. What are we going to do Wednesday? I don't have the slightest idea, because I'm going to enjoy my 4-day weekend, and I hope you do too. But we'll see you Wednesday right here, 94 HJY.
This report is brought to you by JCPenney.
But she went in front of the board hearing her case and swore she did not take drugs. She said she tested positive because she had sex with, quote, really sweaty and apparently high on cocaine somebody. She said drug residue was passed via bodily fluids. They rescinded her suspension, but say she faces further testing. Man.
I was just reading an article that women keep the DNA of every man they've had sex with.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
How?
Their body retains the DNA.
Yeah, we absorb it. Isn't that great?
Oh, boy. Talk about tainted.
You have no idea. I am like horrified. I've not been talking
Jen's
about
walking
that.
around with a double helix inside of her.
Seriously, I'm like, oh, come on. As if things couldn't get any worse.
A few regrets.
A few. man. Thanks for being generous.
Paul and Al, mornings on 94 HJY.